Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Tedward.
We're the Cobb Fathers, episode number 15. We took a week off last week with schedules, and we are all about drink, snack, and repeat.
Boom.
As always, thank you for our sponsor, Good Days Classic Cocktails. You can find us in Georgia right now. Go to our store locator on www.drinkgooddays.com or on our Instagram, Drink Good Days. All right, Ted. So we got a plethora of things that we want to go over tonight. Love the hat. I mean,
Thank you.
what's the inspiration
All right,
here?
so the reason why we missed last week was I was away on business in Houston, Texas, and picked up this beauty. Actually, I didn't really. Whoops, I had it on backwards. An idiot. There it is. Yeah, it was part of a corporate thing. And
You're like J.R. Ewing.
they gave us these. I'll never wear it. This might be the only time I ever wear it. I think it's going to go in the closet and be a.
That thing is that is a big hat.
It's so
Big
yeah.
nugget.
This is funny. So yeah, they size everybody. It was this whole thing, right? So we get up there and the girl looks at literally looks at my head and goes, "Yeah, you're gonna need the biggest size we got, right?" So she says, "You can choose from one at that one." I was like, "Wow, okay." So and it was still a little bit tight on my head. So she goes, "Don't worry. When you get to the end, the girl's gonna steam it up for you and make it and put the bend in and whatnot." So
Yeah,
and she did, and it fits pretty good.
yeah. It's not too they
No,
I mean,
look, and they engrave your name in it if you want.
you know who would love that hat?
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
Tomer.
He's a big fan of hats.
Think about the hat. I just thought it was a neat
Hey.
thing to wear once. It's gonna go in. It's what's gonna go. It's gonna go in the pile of clothes that I use for Halloween. It's probably gonna be a Halloween accessory at some point.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that in
Mhm.
October.
Yeah, that probably make its debut then. Yes.
All right. So
So we are back in force.
and I want to start off. You were
Well,
we
we
played golf one day, didn't we, on the Masters weekend?
did.
Yeah. Didn't we play Legacy or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did.
So anyway, so Sunday, Bryson, you got Rory. Like it's a dream matchup for final round, right? I mean, and Rory.
I think the first 3 holes was like, here we go.
Yeah.
It was 2-shot swings, I think, on each of the first 3 holes. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to be awesome. But yeah, after that,
Bryson, he was up. He was 11 under. He was up
the
one.
tank. Yeah.
Dude couldn't. His irons
No.
have struggled. I give him credit for have a chance.
Yeah.
But Rory, I mean, they just love him on TV.
Yeah. They
I mean, he gets his career grand slam, all this and that.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I respect the guy because he's 5'8" and hits the shit out of the ball. I mean, dude, he is.
You 5'8" guys. You guys
5'8".
gotta stick together.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hit the ball like that at all.
No.
But I kind of get tired of everybody putting him on a pedestal. When the guy has a bad round, he runs off and doesn't talk to the media.
Yeah.
And then when he has a great round, he's like, "Oh, smile."
Yeah. You're right. Absolutely right. He gets pissy about it. And yeah.
So and plus, we live in America.
Yep.
Why are we not rooting for a fucking American?
Well, I mean, we didn't have choice when it came down.
Bryson was there, but even the guy, the commentators were pumping him up.
That's the live thing, right?
Oh, come on.
We knew that earlier in the week when they kept saying how little TV time these live guys got.
They're eventually going to get this deal, I guess.
Yeah. We don't know what's going on with this.
So
actually, when it came down to it, I was really kind of pulling for Rose. I think Rory's gonna have multiple chances. I kind of like Rose. I saw him in some of those TV specials and whatnot. And he's a good dude. So
he is the second time he's come
lost in a playoff. I know.
Lost at the Masters.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, I mean, again, not that I don't. I actually was not rooting for Rory, not because I just tired of how he treats people. The guy cheated on his wife allegedly. And then when he wins. He almost blew it.
Yep.
He tried to blow it again.
Yep.
And he gives Shane Lowry the biggest hug, which I like Shane Lowry.
Sure.
He's good at full.
They're all, right.
Yeah, but did you see what he did to his wife? He just put the hat on her.
Did he? Nice.
That's a true love story going on there. Anyway, so I guess we can talk about we're done with Rory and his career Grand Slam chase.
Yep.
And now can we just go back to regular golf?
Yep. Justin Thomas. That was a good one too. 61 in the first round.
Oh, this last
the
week.
Heritage.
Yeah.
So
he kind of got iffy too.
He did. He kind of floundered a little bit in the middle 2 rounds, and then he kind of had to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, he missed a putt on 18. They both birdied 17. He and this guy Novak, who's never won before.
Yeah.
And then Novak sticks it on 18. I was like, it's over. And boy, he just pulled that putt.
Bama boy.
What, Novak is?
Justin.
Oh, Justin. Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a slight little man.
Yeah, no, I like him.
I mean, I like him.
Yeah.
I mean, he has that been very competitive the
Yeah.
last 3 years. So good for him.
We didn't see the very end. We watched until they went to the playoff, and then
Yeah.
we drove back. We were out of town this weekend, but yeah, but we heard about it.
But man, we need to live players playing against like some of the best golfers in the world are still on the Live Tour.
Yeah.
And some of the most intriguing golfers are on the Live.
Mhm.
They got to get that. They keep talking about this. Oh,
Yeah.
we're working on a deal. Like,
Yeah.
like what is this? Is this like?
I thought the last 2 weeks though were pretty good. I've watched more, and I always do this, right? Every year I watch a lot of golf at the beginning of the year, and then summer comes,
Well, I mean,
baseball season, other stuff's happening, vacations and whatnot, and I sort of just forget about it, right? Until, of course,
the majors.
Yeah,
but the majors are so much closer now. It's like
that's true.
I mean,
Yeah.
the next one's what? Like in June.
Yeah.
I don't even know, but they're a lot closer. The season ends in September now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. The one thing that's kind of funny, it's not about golf itself, but did you hear about Jim Nance? About how he wants to stay on, he's not retiring doing the Masters till it's the 100 year. That's 11 more years
Oh
from
my
now.
gosh.
He basically told CBS, "You're not getting rid of me," which is pretty.
A tradition like no other, right?
I know.
It's sickening. Honestly, it's
How's it going?
all that stuff is we're at the Butler cabin. You know what I mean? I'm just like, can we just watch the golf and make it less about you, Jim, and all the pomp and circumstance, traditions and politeness and all this other crap? It's like, this is why, I don't know, some days I'd rather watch, the Phoenix Open when they're chucking beers at folks. And
We're
people
going,
are taking
we're going there next February.
It's on the list.
Weights.
Let's get it
Oh
done.
yeah, that's why. Well, the Live does it right that too. Now
Yeah.
they just don't get anybody to watch it. I think why one? It's it's only 3 rounds.
Right.
And anyway, but I'm with you. Jim Nance, it's had a hell of a run,
Yeah.
but man, we got to see him 11 more years at the Masters.
I
Him
don't know.
go. It was good to see the honorary captains, but poor Jack Nicklaus, he can't
Ooh.
move.
What, he's 87, 86,
Yeah,
87?
you see Gary Player though?
Gary Player. But he's a machine.
That's 92.
That dude's a robot, man.
That-
He
yeah.
is not of this planet. I swear to God.
Yeah,
Yeah, Gary Player is from somewhere else.
yeah. But yeah, good old Jack. I don't know.
Yeah.
Feel bad. He really, when he got done with golf.
I saw something today though that of all the sports billionaires, right? A couple of soccer guys, right? Michael Jordan, right? I think both in and out of sport, like everything they've made. LeBron was on the list.
Jack is not on
Yeah,
there.
he was like 8. And it's because of all his company, right? And all the Golden Bears.
He's a billionaire?
Sure, it said 1.6, 1.5, 1.6
No way.
billion
Well,
dollars.
he makes squat
He's a
playing
mess.
golf.
No,
Back then they weren't paying
And
anything.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's more impressive. So he's had a bigger career outside of golf in terms of,
That is.
than in it.
I remember when
Of course, design, all the other shit that he does,
Oh yeah, I don't know if his clothing line ever really took off though.
I don't think I've ever owned a Golden Bear shirt.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bunch of folks that are in their 70s and 80s right now who have plenty of old, moldy, mothballed, stinking shirts in their closet, But I mean, he started the whole, it's his company too that does it.
He was more probably the trendsetter of golf he started doing that, and then everybody else started doing that.
Sure.
Or coming out their line or getting those huge contracts from Nike and things like that. So, but anyway, we love golf. We're playing golf again Saturday.
I'm looking forward to that.
A little twilight special.
Any
and
weather?
Looks perfect. 80 degrees.
Nice.
Trying to fix some things. I'm trying to try to get to the range prior. We'll see.
Range is overrated, Jay.
No,
Overrated.
when you're trying to fix something though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what fixes me? 2 more lights and 2 Advil before the pre-round.
That's
your best warm up right there.
Wrong thing.
All right, fine. That's fine. Give me a couple of heaters, right?
Yeah.
And a couple of Advil. Maybe stretch a tiny bit.
Yeah.
6 putts. I'm ready. Ready to rock and roll.
So we're gonna roll back in. The Braves started 0-7.
You were on them.
I'm still on them. I'm still not happy.
All right. But you're happier.
All right. I mean, look, 10-7's is better. It's not unbelievable.
Hey, 6-1 in the whole
last night pissed me off though.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm tired of bullpen games. We're in the major leagues. You pay people millions of dollars. You have fucking payroll. The Braves have
The crazy part is that Blewett guy, they signed him 2 days earlier.
Yeah.
They signed him on Easter Sunday. This is his 3rd team this year. I was telling you yesterday, his minor league stats are horrendous. But when he gets to the majors,
like Chavez,
it's pretty good. Yeah.
So
I don't think he was terrible yesterday.
Dude, they would no. Well, again, but then our bullpen's not very good anyway.
Right.
I mean, it's still not that good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Look, this was a timing thing. Strider got hurt at the wrong time. They had set up their, staff to do that, and then all of a sudden,
Why don't you just bring up somebody? Is Ian Anderson okay? Can he just pitch?
right?
Like
Who's the
next? Who's
Next
the
guy?
Who's the other guy that got 3 names and moved that they put down?
Yeah,
the other.
I think you're right. Let's bring up the guy who's supposed to pitch for Gwinnett that night, right?
Yeah.
Same day, and then
Let him go
have
five.
let them do a bullpen.
And then if he gets rocked, then you just let him stay in there. And then you don't. And then you bring in.
And he pitches. Go. Chavez is back, though. I love it.
Well, I mean, good lord.
Yeah.
What is the text last night? Just Jacob says Wiles is gone.
Yeah.
Literally gone again.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
but that's our weakness. There's some weakness. We're improving some things, but
But you talk incessantly about the offense, and
it's improved. But we still
it's
got
much
It's still not an impressive lineup.
much improved.
It's not. The batting average is still sucks.
Wait till
Riley is starting to heat up.
Yep.
Olsen's still hitting like 210. I mean, it's disgusting. Your boy Murphy's hitting bombs.
All he hits is bombs.
But
Homer or nothing.
He's got what 9 hits and 6 of them are home runs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did today, but
Eli White 3-run homer.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And Harris was 3 for 4.
Yeah.
But like, can we just get Ozzy to stop switch hitting?
Yeah. I don't know.
He's not good. He's better just on.
He's fine. He's a slow starter.
Slow. Go.
Trust me. He'll be at 260 by the All-Star break and solid. And then
Now look, we got a week.
second.
We got about a week left of the month. If this team is somehow
500
500,
by the end of the month, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna be like,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna eat my.
Oh, streak
I
it!
eat my. But dude, I mean, it's now possible
It is very possible.
at that, and they, yeah.
I said it from the beginning. They played the fucking Dodgers and the Padres, right? Of the 3 best teams in baseball, those 2 are 2 of the 3, right? And the other one's the Mets, right? Those 3 teams. So you start with 2 of the 3 best teams, and you go 0-7. Now, granted, should they have gone 2-5? Yeah, hopefully that would have been nice, but they didn't. So,
Whatever. We'll see. Again, the numbers don't lie. If they got to get to 500, and they got to start calling back.
Yep.
But dude, don't think that. I mean, how long have they been playing baseball? Baseball's been what 100?
Sure. Yeah,
30 years,
1880s. Yeah,
maybe 40 years.
Yep.
We're not experts on stats on everything.
No, we're struggling with math.
But no team has made a playoff, sir. 0-7.
Yeah,
that's pretty. That you can't go against it until somebody does it. So maybe the Braves can be that team.
Well, remember though, we didn't have these expanded playoffs until a few years ago, right? So back in the day when we were kids, 4 teams made. You had to win your division, right? So yeah, no team ever started 0-7 back then. That's when you had 8 teams in the division, and you only had 2 teams in the AL. Boom, that was it. Now it's another round.
All right.
I think that could change.
So before I jumped on Ronald's comment,
okay,
Azuna's a free agent after this year.
Yeah.
Do you try to keep him?
I think it depends on where they are at the break. If they're sellers or they're
I mean, do you sign him?
Well, not if they're going to trade him. I mean, if they're 15 games up 500, they're selling.
Yeah.
They're probably going to sell him. Everybody needs a big bat,
But
right?
dude, like if they're fighting, if they're in the playoff hunt, and or even when the season ends and they make the playoff, or we're just short, whatever. And he's one of the reasons why he's fucking our best hitter.
He carried him last year.
So, do you go and give him another contract for 3 years?
Maybe.
I mean, you probably have to give him a bump, but maybe not a huge bump. I mean, make 16.
I think he likes playing here. I really do. I think he likes. I think the whole dynamic with Ozzy and with Acuna. I think they're all buds.
He's like the leader. So,
I think he might give you a little bit of a hometown discount, but maybe not.
What about the guy that didn't run it out?
Yeah.
What's his name? Jared?
Yeah.
Jared
Kelnick,
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I didn't see it live. I just heard about it afterwards, and I heard the comments and stuff.
He watched it like he was like fucking bathed roof or something. Like, dude. And then the manager goes, I didn't really see what happened.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
He did. He said he didn't see
It's
it.
a cop out.
Sure.
Snedeker seems to be checked out. If he's done, then just fucking walk out now. We don't need you to go pussyfooting around. He should have benched that dude. He should have yanked him. He should not have started the next game.
We talked about this at lunch yesterday, and I agree with what Ronald said. Like, he has done that, and he's got been benched. But it's also a repeat, offense for Ronald, right? You and I can both agree on that. That's at
True.
the beginning of his career. This was a pattern almost with him, right? And I think he's done some growing up, and I think he's a real leader on this team. Plus, you can't have your best player doing that. Kelnick's, Yeah, you're an idiot. Sit him down the next day.
Why can't the manager go, you know what, I messed up. I should have said, like, why?
I think
Nobody, no, he didn't. He didn't really come
after
back.
the fact, Snit said, I probably should have done that, but
Yeah,
I didn't see it. So, yeah, it's
I mean,
for sure.
how about? How many other coaches are on that fucking bench?
Yeah.
How many other ones? How about the fucking first
It's
base
not like
coach?
they're
What
on the
about
outfield here.
what about the
Yeah.
first base coach and third base coach? Like,
Mhm.
they should be reaming his ass.
Yeah.
If that was Ron Washington was here,
Mm.
he would have been fucking lit up like a
Mhm.
Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But anyway, when is Ron coming back?
Mid-May, early to mid-May is what I hear. So, I mean, we're almost May 1st here. We're going to,
I think that
he said he was 100% or he was good to go or locked in, whatever his comments were this week. But I'm like, then why are they still sending him to Florida to do they said strength and conditioning stuff to get in game shape? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a professional athlete. I mean, that's
I
surprising.
think if they were 12 games under 500,
Yeah.
they might not even bring him back right away quick. And now they seem to be playing better. So why are we going to rush them? It'd be nice to get them in the lineup.
I think I have to look at the schedule to see. I guarantee you, if we run into series here against the Mets, he'll be back. Against the Nats, I don't know what the schedule looks like right now.
Yeah, I didn't.
But if we got Pirates, Rockies, all these out of division games,
You know who said they don't need him is
Mm.
Frank Core.
really.
Says they don't need Ronald Acuna.
What?
Yeah. Well, has Jeff Frank Core looked at the record?
Yeah.
When Ronald plays,
Right.
and when he does not, the Braves are way above 500.
Mm-hmm.
When he doesn't play, they're under 500.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be one of the fucking dumbest comments I've ever. And I like Frenchie. I
Sure.
think he's awesome.
Yeah.
But dude,
That is
look at the number.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying Braves 0-7 until someone proves it wrong. But Ronald Acuna, the team is better now. They didn't win a World Series with him.
0-7 and 2-10, right? Believe me, right? They were 2-10.
Yeah.
And they're 10-14 now. So.
Yeah. So they're 10-7.
Yeah.
I think they get. Who are they playing? Are they playing tomorrow? They must be.
Yeah.
No, they might be off tomorrow. Because they had a day game. I don't know. They might be. I don't even know. So we'll look it up later. But anyway, and I had another one I want to talk about. I didn't put on the list, but that's okay.
So you hate bullpen games. Yep, I don't disagree, but I think it's just one of those things, right? That was just the circumstance, right?
It's annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, especially everybody's got. I mean, you got your AAA. Everybody's got a minor league club close to your fucking city.
Yeah.
Gwinnett, it's 40 minutes from an hour, let's say, with traffic.
Yeah.
To get to the fucking ballpark.
Yep.
Throw in somebody.
They could have.
Before, I know I'm not really watching the NBA playoffs for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably watched
They just don't fucking play deep. But anyway, so the Hawks made a big move. They fired their GM.
Did they? I didn't know that.
So Landry,
they lost what? In the playing game, right?
Yeah, they didn't even win. They lost both games to just get in to be the 8th seed.
Sure.
So the interesting thing, so everybody was giving Landry Fields kudos. You got Dyson Daniels, you got all some young talent, blah, blah, blah. And it gets blown out. Again, most dysfunctional franchise in this, pretty close to them in the Falcons. But I'll tell you the Hawks are definitely worse. So now the speculation is, well, him gone, they promoted somebody within, but Trey Young probably will not be on this team.
Really? He's the face of the franchise, Jason.
He is. I like him. But
they got a great young nucleus, man. They are younger than Auburn, right?
Yeah. Average age is 22.8 or something.
Yeah.
Which they do have an exciting thing, but if they're gonna blow it up, then this team will just be they're purgatory. It's just like the Falcons. When you finish 7-10, that's the Hawks. They finished 40-42. You get nothing out of that. Right? You get a fucking lottery pick. You don't do any of that.
Yeah.
It's
not bad enough to get a great pick.
I mean,
not good enough to make
it's fucking god awful. So just wanted to bring that up. Disappointed. Guy's a multi-billionaire, and his wife, whatever, is an actress, but she's like the richest. She's worked a bunch herself. And he said he'd go over the luxury tax. He said he'd do all that. You know what he's done? None of it. Let's see.
How many games you go to this year?
I went to 0.
0.
That's the first time in a long time.
I tell you what, I probably watched 2 games maybe, and not even whole games.
I watch, but now we finally got FanDuel Network.
Did you?
Watch I can't say it. Jake and I.
We're
sharing. We're allowed. You can do 2 screens.
Can you? All right.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
With $20 fucking a month though.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing going on this week,
Draft day.
Draft day tomorrow night.
That's it. It's Mitch's Super Bowl.
Yeah, Mitch.
Mitch won't sleep tonight. I guarantee it.
Yeah, our farmer Scheffler, Mitch Lander. I'm sure he's got it down, trying to figure it out. So,
So you can go deep in the drafts. Like we can go like top 5. It's all the draft boards are kind of similar.
yeah,
You know,
I mean,
he goes way beyond.
yeah, yeah. So the consensus is Titans are getting Cam Ward.
Yep.
Like,
I think that's.
that's.
I don't think I have seen anything that is not that within the last 2 weeks.
So I did a little research, not a ton of research. The rumors are, and I can't believe it because I've heard so much negative stuff. But the Browns may go after Sanders.
Sure, let him. I don't want him dropping a 21.
So
let him,
which is interesting. And then the Giants rumored to get what's his name, Hunter.
I think Hunter's going to go to the Browns, but I could be wrong. They didn't do quarterback, so
does the Giants?
That would be a Browns move.
Do the Giants draft a quarterback, or do they just say
no?
They go pick?
No, they go the defensive end from Penn State, right? Penn State.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
he's not Micah Parsons, but he's solid.
And then there's a bunch of linemen until you get to Genty, right? So Genty, the running back, he's probably going to go. I don't see him getting past 8.
I didn't see. I looked at some mocks today, and I didn't see him up.
I don't think he's going to get past the Raiders. Right? I'd love to see him drop. I'd love to see the Steelers have a chance at him and trade up to like 12, 15, something like that. But
no way,
that won't happen.
No. So, yeah,
I think the Steelers are going to stay put. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback first round.
I put Will Howard there.
I think Will Howard is
second
possibility. I think they can wait till 3rd, maybe even 4th with him. But I think they still might get Dart. Well, they don't have a 2nd round pick, but they can do some.
So one of the, I saw a couple mocks Will Howard in the first round.
Yeah,
I mean he's got a gun. Granted, he had good wide receivers. Ohio State. He's going to walk right.
Yeah, whoever. I mean, he's like Burrow, right? Like he had one just unbelievable season with all these targets and everybody in one national championship.
And Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow,
but
he's a badass in the NFL.
Yeah, but I mean, so we've seen lots of other guys who were stars for 1 year and ended up, fizzling out. Jamarcus Russell, right?
Oh, he was fucking god-awful. So, like, what else is on the Steelers' board?
Well, I mean, they've got the weapons now. They got the receivers. They need a running back. They're not going to pick them first round unless it was Genty. They, should take a quarterback or sign somebody. Again, I don't know what they're going to do with Rodgers. I keep hearing that they might even do your guy here, Kirko.
Goodbye.
Kirko Chains. I hear a lot of things, but it's all who the hell knows, right?
I think the smart move is they're not doing anything till after the draft.
Yeah.
So
I think like I said, they're going to stay put. Probably an interior defensive lineman. The kid from Michigan keeps coming up. I see him on a lot of boards, unless they do something stupid and get Sanders. God help us. So I hope it doesn't happen. I think they're smarter than that. I think that kid's a head case, and I think he's just, half things I see is that people are really just enthralled with him, mostly because it's Deion's kid and all that. But well, I just don't think the ability is there. Decision making. I think he's cocky, and the interviews have not gone well.
Yeah,
he's rubbing a lot of people
entitled.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, I saw a couple games this year with him. I mean, the mobility is really good. He can throw the ball. He's not like unbelievable, but he's good. He can be good enough in the NFL. But I would be concerned about his ego. He's not his dad. His dad's a fucking Hall of Famer. He's one of the best players that ever played the position, right?
Yeah,
I mean, no one ever rooted Deion Sanders in reality.
But that doesn't mean his kid's going to be great.
Yeah.
I mean, look at LeBron's kid.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, a lot of pressure. Quarterbacks, I mean,
everybody needs them. It's a necessary evil.
Right? And most of them suck.
Yeah. It's funny. I heard a good take today. Not good take, but interesting one on Brock Purdy. Right. So Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant, right? 7th round pick a few years ago, and has really blossomed into, probably a top 12 quarterback, right? Arguably. But of course, everyone's like, well, he's got the system there. He's got an all-star lineup, they kept saying today. And I was like, when you think about it, they really do. I mean, they have Caffrey, right?
He's had good receivers. George Kittle.
They got so many weapons and a system that puts people in the right places at the right time to be kind of dynamic. So again, is it him or is it, the system? And it's interesting because now he's up for a renewal, right? He's up for a long-term contract. And they were talking today in terms of top 12 money is 40 million plus. Are you going to pay Brock Purdy, who's maybe 6 feet tall, right? $45 million. What are they going to do, right?
So
You got the key, you got the,
I got one word, 2 words.
Yep.
It's the system.
It's
3
the
words.
system. It could be.
Because Shanahan made Garoppolo,
Yep.
and Garoppolo was a decent quarterback, but like an MVP caliber quarterback.
Sure.
Matt Ryan was already a very good quarterback when he
Yeah.
got the MVP that year, right? And then he had great toys with him.
Yeah.
Shit, he can make anybody. Any quarterback that's played under him has been far better. So there's definitely something to it. Look, you got a good offensive line. The thing about the 49ers for years, they were just drafting the line.
Mhm. Well, you could do that when you draft your quarterback in the 7th round.
But
right?
they were doing that prior. They sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, they were getting really good picks.
Yep.
Good players on both sides. Wasn't just offensive. I mean, they had some great defensive fucking drafts they've had. So they're kind of got rid of some players this year.
And some guys were hurt, and you saw that they took a step back. So again, is this Purdy or is this the system? So I mean,
I think the system. Good for him. If he gets his money, good for him. If I was the 49ers, I might just draft a quarterback.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let go Purdy go somewhere else and see if he can do it.
I don't know that he's talking like that yet. I think he just wants to get paid and probably wants some longevity, right, and a place to call home for the rest of his career, like all these guys. So look, Are you going to do better? Is Sanders or Dart or any Howard or any of these guys that are coming out going to be better than Brock Purdy?
But
I don't think so.
You already said it though. You said it like a minute ago. Are you going to pay a guy $40 million? Like the thing is, if you can develop one of these young quarterbacks, you don't have to pay them for whatever 4 or 5 years, and you can spend that money on other things.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that already in this new world of the NFL and the owners. They're not paying these guys after a while. Like if they don't believe they can bring them playoff Super Bowl, they're like, go ahead, go. Which is that's how it is in the real world.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're making the thing is, if we next week, I'll bring it up. I'll look it up. You look at salaries for the top 15 quarterbacks. There's some big, but they're pretty close. But there's guys making at the 25th level of salary making probably $20 million a year now.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the high watermark.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have $100 million quarterback.
Right? Yeah.
There's going to be $100 million quarterback eventually, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basically people aren't going to be able to go to the games anymore.
Yeah.
The ticket price. I mean,
it could be Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah.
His next deal, right?
I mean, yeah, and these guys are so young.
Yep.
I mean, look, Matt Ryan got 3 deals.
Yep.
Which 3? Wait, 1, 2, 3. Maybe kind of 3.5.
And then the Colts, whatever.
Whatever they fucking paid him.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins has been the master. I mean, no matter what about
he's got a PhD in
the dude because he's been good enough that people it's worth the chance.
Yep.
And the Falcons went for it, and the Vikings did it, and someone else will give him that chance.
Yep.
It might be
Joe Flacco's still hanging around.
Dude, I would love to see Joe Flacco backing up Mike Penix but Joe Flacco signed with somebody.
He did. Once at Cleveland, but I don't know.
Maybe
not.
Yeah, he might be right. Maybe so. Well, I'll go briefly on the Falcons because they always seem to fuck it up. If they don't draft defense,
there are 2 Georgia defensive linemen.
Defense, and okay, if you can get a center because you'll need one eventually or backup, and
they got to go D-line first, right? Have to.
Yeah,
rush end. They got to replace Grady Jarrett, right?
Well, Grady Jarrett is a middle defensive lineman.
Okay, yeah.
So there's one I saw Nolan from Ole Miss. He's pretty good. I want Lambs.
Yeah.
I want him bad.
Sure.
I still don't think he's going to drop that down.
I keep seeing him at like 13, 14.
So
maybe.
So that would be great. The dude from LSU, the defense end, he's kind of rumored maybe 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking good.
Yeah,
I would take him.
The boy, the guy from A&M.
I forgot that guy.
Guy from A&M is the guy who's like just chiseled. He's absolute
I remember what you told me. Yeah,
but he had like 1 sack last year at Texas A&M, and it's just like a bunch of pressures. People are like, if you don't produce there, right? And you're expected to be a top 20 pick,
No,
that's a red flag.
But the kid from LSU, because I think he dropped down because of some of his stupid numbers at the combine. But he had like 7 or 8 sacks.
Yeah.
And he didn't play every down. I don't know. Maybe I just hope they just don't. If I see a fucking wide receiver, I'm gonna go nuts. If I see a tight end, I'm gonna like, you can go get a tight end. We're gonna or trade Pitts right now.
Has there been a bigger disappointment for a first round pick in recent memory like that?
Disappointment.
Yeah,
He's the worst
that's what I'm
draft pick, and the tight end's never been drafted.
It's crazy. What they pick him? Four, right?
Four. That dude should be. He should be getting 1,200 yards, 18 touchdowns, and
18. Well, 10. A double-digit touchdown.
He's a big
1,300
tall
yards.
dude.
Yeah.
But you know what? Who said it? Was it you? Somebody said it was a COVID year.
Mhm.
You didn't see the games. He this and that. A lot of kids didn't play. He just looked like a rock star to everybody. And you know, there's something to be good. That might not be right. So, but again, the Falcons always seem to disappoint on draft day.
You going to the party?
No.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't. Could you imagine if they go draft somebody, then be like, what the fuck? I mean,
It'd be a big spark, though. What if they get Williams? What if they trade up to 12 and get Williams?
they got to do. If they look, this is it. These guys are not coming back next year if they can't make the playoffs. They are going to be fired. The GM. So you might as well if you got to trade. Well, I know. Well, fuck. We had to give up a fucking pick for Kirko for fucking talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is that? That's why that guy needs to go. He's begging to be released. Fuck you. That means I got to still pay your money, bro. No. I haven't watched quarterback season.
James, baby.
But he's on there again.
That's crazy, yeah.
So the Falcons have had 2 years of quarterbacks, and then they either get benched or cut.
It's like the Madden curse, right? You go on that show and
I don't know. So I don't know, man. But yeah, defense. You know, I kind of looked with everybody. So let's think about quarterbacks. We've got
how many? What's the over under on quarterbacks in the first round?
So I'm reading Ward,
Sanders.
Yeah, it's a waste. But yeah,
Milrow. Those got to be a top 4, right?
Milrow is not rumored.
No.
He seems to be moving maybe on the back end of the first round. Wouldn't be surprised he slips though. I mean, in my
I could easily see this year being 2 quarterbacks taken, which is crazy because how many last year, right? Remember when the Falcons picked Penix at what, 8 or 9? What was it?
Yeah.
They were already like 5 quarterbacks off the board last year.
Yeah.
I mean, and like we always say, everybody needs them, right? So, but I just don't. The class this year is just
it's got
nothing.
It's not good. Now there will be a diamonds in the rough. I think.
Yep.
You know,
it could be Will Howard,
but Cam Ward. I'm trying to see what's the next quarterback taken. I'm still scrolling. This is a mock draft from Pro Football.
Some of them go right to Sanders at wherever he's going.
Dude, I still haven't seen it. I see your guy Steelers taking tight end from Michigan on this one. I see Michael Williams falling to 22.
No way.
They say the Falcons getting James Pierce. He's pretty good too.
Yeah.
Again,
but come on,
I'd rather
pick a fucking Georgia guy.
I would rather,
for God's sake, sell jerseys. Do you know what that would do to the fan base alone if you did that? And hey, look, you know what? This guy, I got 2 heater moments now. I got 2, Jason. I'm gonna write this down.
So they got Sanders going to the Rams on this one. 26. Is that it? 2 quarter? You're saying 2 maybe?
I would not be surprised if it was just 2, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it was 4 or 5 because people are just so hung up on trying to find their next franchise.
I'll say 3.
I'm saying 2.
Because someone's gonna do this. Someone's gonna go
be stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody in the last pick, first round.
Had to be.
Let's go 2.5.
That's low. But then, how many running backs are in the first round?
Oh, I mean the NT, and then they don't pick another one until I think the second round. He might. He might be the only guy who goes in the first round.
Running back.
The kid from North Carolina, right?
Man, I wish we get Jalen Walker too. Man, he's so good.
He's gonna go top.
The Genty's going to the Bears on this one.
Yeah,
which is probably
he's not getting to 10.
Look who needs. Look, all right.
The Raiders. The Raiders gonna pick him at 7.
The Raiders are gonna go. They say offense. They do need offensive.
Everybody does.
Yeah,
but yeah.
The Giants are gonna. Yeah, I mean it's Browns. Hunter, you said. Giants, you said Carter. Tight end. I love the tight end from Penn State.
Yeah,
he's going to Jets. That's hot. That's pretty. Man, geez, tight end going. Fucking 7. Of course, the Falcons picked what's his face. Yeah, this is interesting. God damn. Not a lot. Only 2 Georgia guys and 1 Alabama guy in the first round.
Yep. 2 Georgia guys. Both those.
No, you got 3.
Yeah. And Starks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starks will go late in the first round.
Yeah. You know what the teams who do when you're picking lower, like ending around, they seem to do a better job drafting.
Yeah.
When you're always consistently in the top 10,
Trade back, trade back, trade back.
you're not doing it. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers did that too. They trade back because they don't have a second round pick.
I know.
We gave that up for DK. So if they get out of one, if they want to stay put or get out of one and go for 2-2s, right?
Well, you know
Really,
what?
it's not the worst.
Maybe you get Kirko.
Yeah. Look, of all the options, right? That is not my my least favorite at all by any stretch of the imagination, right? So
Well, look, he was above average before he fucking just got annihilated with himself.
Yep.
So, all right, we'll probably do a real good recap. Maybe we'll get Mitch on, do a recap of the draft.
I think next Tuesday we should have Mitch on to break it down what happened. Right now, it's all speculation.
Yeah,
He's going to talk about winners and losers. He's going to cry about the Giants, or he's going to be elated about the Giants. One they.
So Ted, we got the snack moment.
Yeah, we were going to go pretzels, but we've done so many pretzel reviews.
I've been meaning to do this,
but this one, this is going to be a treat.
I've been meaning to do this.
What do we got, Miller?
For the last couple weeks.
Get it open. Let's go.
Because these are I can put these in the freezer.
And we talked about Girl Scout cookies too.
Yeah.
With Derek a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
What the price is, right? Of Girl Scout cookies.
Oh my God.
And he says they're suckers for it. They always buy them no matter what. And you were like, you get like 6 cookies in a box. Nine cookies for like $6.
Done.
Yeah.
Done with that.
So what do you got here?
So here we got Girl Scout Thin Mint Bites.
Thin Mint Bites.
You can get this at Costco. I'm gonna tell you, if you love Thin Mints, it's just like,
who doesn't love Thin Mints?
I mean, this is
you're not an American if you don't love Thin Mints.
So good. You get this bag.
Waft here.
It's a good deal.
Oh my God.
And then
It smells like the dentist. It smells so good.
Put them in the freezer.
Oh yeah.
Let them sit out for a minute. That's pretty good, huh? I could eat the hell out of these.
They look like reindeer turd, right? Well, they taste like heaven, right? And my breath now, minty fresh.
See?
Oh my God.
I love those little Andy's chocolate mint in there. Eat those like nothing.
What about
candies?
What about like Mike and Ice? Isn't there a black and white one that has like licorice and?
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Mike and Ice. Or the spicy one too.
I hot tamales.
Yeah, hot tamales. Boom. Was really good. But these are outstanding.
Oh,
I mean, it's like one of those balls you get, malted milk balls. What are those ones?
Whoppers.
Whoppers. Thank you very much. This is like the consistency of a Whopper, but just minty goodness, right?
It's just like addicting.
Yeah.
I mean, this is made by the Girl Scouts, so this is not just a Costco brand, but the price was really good. Maybe it was
Compared to the box of cookies that you buy.
man. I mean,
Well, is it or not? Bobby approved.
heck no.
No.
Yeah.
So look, let's talk about that a little bit. What happened this week? They have now banned, right?
The dyes.
All the food dyes.
Let's go.
Is that really a thing? I read it, but I was like,
By 2026.
okay. I mean, it's not like they can turn it off.
No.
Yeah.
Because they got
Production plan.
2 years of shit sitting in the warehouse. But
Yeah, probably a good thing. I mean, Europe did it. What do we need it for? If it's literally just for coloring and food, right? You make it look prettier, right? There's lots of natural ingredients you can put in things to make it look prettier. It's actually also good for you.
it's not helping us.
Yeah.
Those ingredients are not good for us.
No. And all they are is eye candy, right? Just to make it look more attractive.
There's no
Again, I always say you eat with your eyes first, right? Look how nice that looks. Look how vibrant that looks. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm all about taste. I mean, these look like fucking turds.
They're money. They're kind of like junior mints too.
Remember when that junior mint went in the guy's body from Kramer? For all you Seinfeld fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
So what are we rating this now? What are you rating?
What I'm getting here is like winter refreshness. I feel like I just went outside in like a fresh snow.
Chill, right?
Yeah. The fresh snow and just taking in the pine scents and the gloriousness of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sweet chocolate, but not too sweet. It's like a slightly bittersweet one. And a good crunch in the middle. God dang. All right, give me the number. I got to put the number down here. I mean, look, I don't know. I forget what I did for the what was the peanut butter cookies for the other day with Derek. I'm going to put these in the cookie category because they're just different versions of cookies. So forget what I gave Derek's Nutter Butters, but Nutter Butters are So I think I gave Nutter Butters like a 4.7,
I probably could
4.8.
I have
right?
most of everything.
I do. I think still like the Nutter Butters a touch more. I'm going to go 4.4 on these, but very, very, very solid, and a huge bag of them like that.
Or 4 I gave too.
Where'd you throw it? Those are 20 ounces. What did this cost us? I'm going to think $8.99 or $9.99.
Nah, because it goes back to Girl Scout. I think it was like 11.99.
Good job, Girl Scouts. If I saw more of these than the regular cookies, start selling these at them outside the store.
Dude, and you know, I'm going on this. What about the Boy Scouts now fucking setting up shop?
Are they? Well, that's not.
Oh, they sell that popcorn
Popcorn?
and shit. I mean, good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Girl Scouts have been owning those Kroger parking
Look,
lots for
look.
years.
I know it. Here's what we should do. Is put these in like a shareable M&M size bag, right?
Yeah.
And keep them in the freezer door at like gas stations and stuff. Because you can't buy this whole big thing. You're not gonna walk around with this, right?
No, but
If you want like a single serving of it, like an M&M size bag of these fuckers, I'm in. I think we should call the Girl Scouts. We should tag them,
we are.
right?
Oh, we're gonna tag them.
Yep.
But I'm pumped. Was your wife a Girl Scout?
Mm,
I think my wife was.
what's it before that? Brownie, right?
Something like that.
Pretty sure she was a brownie. I don't know if she was a full-fledged Girl Scout.
Were you a Boy Scout?
No. My brother was. My brother was a Cub Scout, I think.
Are you a Cubby?
I think
You
so.
a Cub? He didn't go to Boy?
Yeah, I think so.
different.
I think you go from Cub like a certain age.
Obviously, I did not.
Yeah, you age
Yeah.
into Boy Scout.
I respect that. I think it's
Oh, yeah,
a great
too.
thing. Like it teaches you a lot of life skills and
Yeah.
things like that. I mean, a lot of our nephews did it.
Yeah.
So, but Natalie, she didn't do.
Yeah, our girls didn't do it either.
So, I mean,
It wasn't huge here. I think up north and when we were kids, our generation, it was a big thing.
was it?
I would say most kids I knew did it at least for a short time. I did not, but my brother did.
Are you either doing sports or in the Boy Scouts?
Sure.
Like or playing an instrument?
You could probably do both then. I did. I played the saxophone. I sucked at it. I couldn't even read music. I'm not Kenny G. I wasn't doing that. It's a saxophone.
Oh.
Like this. Yeah. My brother played the trombone.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
My brother played the trombone.
Yeah. My wife played the oboe. How about that? Woodwind. I don't even know what. I think oboe is straight.
What is
It's got,
an
like,
oboe?
this little reed
Oh yeah,
vent
yeah,
thing.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in like the orchestra, not in like
Natalie played.
band. He was
Jacob did the triangle, I think.
yeah, Owen did. He did that too. Well, the girls did well. I mean, Erin was in band all through high school.
She was
clarinet.
She was super band.
Yeah.
She was awesome.
Yeah, she was definitely a band nerd for sure. Abby did the flute up until the requirement. They fulfilled their requirement. Right? In our house, we said you got to play an instrument through middle school.
Now you're making me.
Yeah.
All right. So
That was the thing because it's part of that is it's good for your brain, right?
so
It teaches you discipline.
you work. Is it the left side?
Yeah,
of
you
the
got to
brain?
work. You got to work as a team, work together, and you got to
I think it's great.
all these
I love music.
practical skills come along with
I love it.
That's why they all had to take piano lessons to learn the basics, right?
Can you play?
That no, not at all. And then my wife played, and then they went on to play an instrument through high school or through middle school, and then it was up to them. If they want to stick with it, they stuck with it. If they want to drop, no big deal, right? You fulfilled your requirement in our house, right?
We just said you start something, you have to finish.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can't come home. I want to quit the band.
Yeah, right.
Like a month later. No,
Right.
You started it.
Yeah.
You're gonna finish it.
At least that year. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good for kids. I hope kids keep doing it. I think Cobb County's got a lot of really good band programs here at the high schools and stuff. I mean, nationally, renowned bands. Some of the East Cobb, West Cobb schools are.
I mean, you used to go down to the. Was it the Dome back then, or was it Mercedes Benz? No,
Yeah.
Dome.
Been there, and they would go on trips, and Elk Grove had a really good band program. But I mean, some other ones like Harrison and Walton, and several of Kennesaw Mountain had a really good band.
Yeah, that's
so
because Robin went.
yeah. So they've got good programs. So
this
I digress. We didn't expect to talk about bands.
Well, this kind of
Yeah.
stoked something for me. I was talking to a friend of mine, that dies. Did you know? And I'm not judging. 16 million people are on now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why did they stop having PE?
Yeah.
Like, think about when your
Mhm.
kids are in elementary school.
Yeah.
It's the most influential thing.
Sure.
They took that away, man.
Yeah.
No wonder we're like
Recess is like 12 minutes.
no, or they
Yeah.
do it like, or they're like They don't even go out and
If
play.
it's too hot, they don't go outside.
Yeah.
If it's rainy, they don't go outside.
Dude,
If it's
I
Chris-
love
Chris-
it.
My wife goes out in no matter what. Sometimes she is the only teacher out there. They have rules for like temperature. Like if it's below this, you can't go outside. Because kids in Georgia just don't have.
Oh, I know.
They don't have coats, but there are days when it's like right there on the border. She's the only one out there. So
Good. Good.
she's like, we're gonna get them outside just because kids. She knows kids need to get out, expel some energy,
Right.
run around some, forget about math for 20 minutes,
Right.
and then get back after it. Right.
How about remember the presidential test?
Oh yeah, that son of a bitch.
But they got rid of that.
Oh sure.
I look forward to that.
Yeah.
I excel.
Did you
It's
climb the rope?
I
You think any of these kids can climb a rope these days to the top?
doing push-ups?
Yeah.
And the thing.
Yeah. The pegboard
the
thing.
dunk-
Oh yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
yeah.
yep.
I
Bars.
mean that might be a little tough for me now, my shoulders. But
Yeah.
like I look forward to like that and the PE.
I love gym.
I mean,
One year in high school, I took gym twice.
see,
I doubled up on gym in high school because they were like, oh wait, so and so, the class was full or something like that. They're like, what do you want? I go, let me take gym twice.
yeah,
They're like, really? I was like, yep. Which means I had it every day instead of every other day.
yeah,
So it's crazy. People were like, why are you taking gym twice? I'm like, why not?
yeah.
You get to go play hoop or volleyball or
Just fuck off.
yeah. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's one class for sure. I know I get an A.
yep, exactly.
But do they teeth help still?
Yeah, I don't know.
I was asking Elizabeth. I'm like, I don't know what they even do.
Yeah,
But they do. It's probably
who knows what, right?
Yeah. Anyway, well, I just wanted to kind of run that up there. All right, so we've had a couple of weeks of cornhole, a little bit of pickleball. So
Yeah,
I'll do last week cornhole. You weren't here.
I was not. What
Yeah.
happened? I was out of town in Houston getting this groovy hat.
Beautiful.
Right.
So it was Tom and I, Tommy D,
Yep.
and we got annihilated.
Yeah.
Lost 21-1 and 21-4,
Mm.
vice versa.
Mm.
I mean, we drove, 28 minutes, 25 minutes to go there.
Yeah.
I got one beer. Then
Cheap date.
we were done in like 8 minutes. We were already up. I was home
That's what she said.
and like it felt like I don't even. It's like 8:15, 8:20.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Hey, look, we all had those nights, right?
Wow.
Really good teams in that league. We know, right?
Well, I had to bring my bags, and the guy goes,
Oh.
I haven't seen those bags in like some game. What do they call game?
Yeah. Game changers.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen those in like 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, and so,
Some of these cornhole weenies, though, they,
well, yeah.
we know.
Okay, well, go ahead about
There's
last
the whole
night.
budget on bags, right? Yeah.
One, and Todd's an expert.
Yeah.
God bless him. He's got great bags. The ones last night, a little fast for me.
Well, yeah.
Even on the carpet.
Yeah. So let's talk about last night.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
got it done.
We finally got off the
First
slide.
First victory in advanced at the brewery we're playing at.
Schoolhouse Brewery.
Yep. And they had 2 wins on the year, that team. So, they were up
They
and
were-
down a little bit. They weren't
pretty good.
They weren't so hot in the first game, but they really turned it on in the second game and third game. They was challenged, but Todd played out of his mind.
They
Yeah,
got
we
Phil
got
and
it done.
Kevin. They're sticky bags.
Yeah.
They would
So
roll
those were very odd bags,
Rolling.
and both those guys threw a bit interesting, right? He threw that kind of sidewinder thing, trying to spin everything like that's like he was trying to pitch softballs, where you like they got
Yeah.
the risers and all that stuff. He was really working the angles, and then Philip, he just goes sky high and stops
He
on
had
a dime.
But he had a lot of
He did, yeah,
well,
airmails,
Airmails.
he sure did.
but Todd came through in that third game. You
Sure.
guys played pretty good, but he said, I'm gonna stomp.
Yep.
And he stomped.
Yeah, no, it's
No.
good. It's good
No.
to get a win under our belt. We got 1 week left, and then playoffs. So look,
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. That's right.
We'll see though.
We'll see. It's been fun though. I like going down there. It's a good place. Some good beers last night. Good times. Boys,
Yeah, it's good.
with our wives. We get signed up.
No,
Playing with the wives this summer.
we'll get it done.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in
Interleague.
and we'll see.
We'll see. We'll decide
Anyway,
on that. We'll have
my wife
have a
my
team
wife
meeting about
can't
that.
hit the board yet.
Like I said, Chris is not.
So
She's got to work on her game for sure.
Elizabeth's like, I just hope I can make it
Right.
near the board. I'm
Right.
like, whatever.
Right.
So so pickleball, we 2 weeks ago.
Is this a new season? What are we doing here? I thought
We're- It's Alta. We just finished our season.
Yeah.
So there's 7 teams in the division. So 2 weeks ago we played. We lost like And Elizabeth and I played together. We got one of the points, which was nice. We lost 2-1. Better team, yeah. We didn't show up. This week I wasn't playing the play, and one of our Bill, he wasn't feeling well, okay. So anyway, so we played Ellis Farms, which is the first place team.
It's down the street.
Yeah. So they didn't I don't think they played every one of their good players really, but we felt good. We split with them. They beat everybody this year.
Really?
So
What does that mean? You split 6-6?
6-6.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's good.
I played the men's line with David, this guy David Diaz. We took 2 out of 3. Should have maybe taken the third, but it's okay. And so yeah, we get a little break. We do have a pickleball tournament in the neighborhood in May 15th. Maybe your son and wife will play.
Yeah.
And then summer league starts in June. We didn't think we'd have. We were like, who's playing, who's not.
Yeah.
We have 21 people on the roster, so it's hard to
Yeah.
So, some of our really good players want to play more, and I get that. But it's like, if you come to practice, I'm gonna play. It's not like we're the best team in the world.
Right.
So, but I love it though. Knee's good. I wear the brace just for the heck of it.
What was that? So weird.
It's called old
Man
old-
minus.
You got
Yeah.
arthritis. It's all that. I'm sure there's more to it. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Next week we'll have more.
Heaters, baby. What do you got? I see an interesting one on here for you.
So yeah, a heater moment for me is I was doing a tasting at a liquor store on Saturday near Atlanta, kind of near an affluent area. But anyway, Capital City Liquors, great spot. Thank you for the opportunity. So and it's kind of slow. Someone walk around, looking at bourbons, talking to people working there, and then
Doing your thing.
and then
Man of the people.
and then when I see someone walk by the table, I run right back, and I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah. So this person walked by, and I said, "You need any help?" Because I'm also helping people.
Sure.
Bored out of my life.
Right. Right.
Sometimes, and she's like, "No, I'm waiting on my friend. This is what she needs, whatever she's doing." I'm like, "Okay, cool," and she just starts. Sometimes looking at her, golly.
Looking at her checking her out, or just looking at her I know you.
Yeah, I'm I reckon that something's odd. I know this person or whatever. So anyway, so her friend goes over, grabs whatever, stop at the table. Her friend, well, actually no, she came first. So the person, well, I won't say that because I didn't know until when they walked out.
Yeah.
So she tried the longboat and the whiskey sour.
Nice.
I mean, whiskey sour, the longboat. I mean, the gin and the heater. So,
Sure.
and I was like, "You want to try the vodka base?" And she's like, "Oh no, that gets me all okay, cool." But she loved them.
Sure.
Her friend comes over. She lives in Johns Creek, and evidently this person's staying right nearby this high affluent area in Atlanta. And when I start talking to her, I'm like. Somehow got on kids. She's like, my kid goes to Georgia. Oh yeah, my son graduated in Georgia, works at Home Depot. And then I said, what's the major? And she's like, PR. So I'm like, and then that's what I already said where she's from. But I asked her where you live? And she's like, Johns Creek. And then the other lady goes, I'm from California. And then I'm like, PR. Is this her agent? Is this her PR? Her friend?
Yeah.
I feel like it's all. And then I'm like, California. I'm like, Ellie, I know this is a fucking actress, and I can't fucking remember her name.
Sure.
But anyway, the cool thing is, I think that's probably why I was even more genuine, because I wasn't like, "Hey, you want to get a picture?" The woman I'm talking about is Amy Adams.
Yeah,
she's been in a plethora of movies.
Yeah, I love Amy Adams. Really good actress.
So she's 5'4".
Yeah,
about.
Okay.
She's a strawberry blonde. She's not they dye her hair for.
So is a redhead. Yeah.
Yeah, she's cute, super nice, and it's a bummer because I when they walked out, and I'm like. I go around my phone, I go to Google, I'm like, the first one that popped up was Amy Adams.
Yeah.
I'm showing it to all the people. I'm like, oh my God, that was her.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then I jump on her Instagram. She doesn't even do any, it's hers, but she never posts. I'm like, damn. But she's filming her show.
Yeah.
Called Cape Fear.
Wow.
It's going to be an Apple.
Based upon the movies?
I think
stuff?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but, the movie studios at Doraville, where the old plant used to be. It's all those stages.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how I can get some good days set over there, and I gotta figure it out.
So she bought a
variety bag.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Man.
All right, good.
So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can get a little celebrity endorsement here.
If I ever see her friend again, I'm like, Yeah. But it would have been perfect. It was like someone said, if what he just said afterwards, I really love your movies.
Yeah.
And then she walked right. I'm like, yeah. I guess I could have said that anyway, but I was racking my brain the whole time.
Right.
She was. So
Yeah. Sometimes you just like, you know, the minute they walk away, but
I was like,
you're
what
frozen.
the?
Yeah.
I have no idea. What's your heater?
I got 2 this week, right? So, 2. I do have.
Oh, you're gonna do the federal government?
No, I'm not going to the federal government. It's tax season, and I'm aggravated, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. So what do you want? The pretzels?
Yeah.
This was the other snack, the alternate snack.
Yeah.
That was the stunt snack, the backup one, but
Yeah.
that's some pretzels. We've gone up too many pretzels. So one is Hot Rod, right? George Kicker, right? Rodrigo is kicking in the UFL, which is whatever spring league. Right?
That's the United States Football League.
Yeah, no, it's USF. Well, it's not USF. I think it's the UFL, right? Yeah, Gulf of America. What's it called? Yeah. Anyhow, he's kicking and he's doing really well, right? So I started following him. I mean, I think I was already following, but now I'm like paying attention to what's going on. And he had a 56-yarder, and he had a game with like 4 field goals and whatnot. And I mean, looking good. He had a funny little video about like basically the life of a UFL kicker, and like they're playing, I think, on a baseball stadium field or something. It was kind of funny.
Don't they have some real coaches on that thing?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ex NFL guys.
Yeah. So anyhow, he's doing well, and I'm like, I said it during the Falcon season last year, right? When young Koo got hurt, I was like, you got 2 Georgia guys out there that are ready to come and kick and can't find a job, and they were picking up some guy off the couch. I'm like, come on, man. So somebody give Hot Rod another chance, right? He missed like 2 field goals in Indy in a playoff game or something. Now he's banished, right?
But you bring up a point here.
28. Give him a shot.
I agree, but the Falcons are going to hold. Still going with who?
Yeah, I don't know, but here he is. I think that hopefully this for him is a, basically a tryout for the NFL. At least get him in a camp with somebody, right? Because he's looking good. But here's the real heater moment, right? Was that since we already talked about Sanders getting drafted and whatnot. So yeah. So that was nuts, right? The jersey retirement, right? So Dion went ahead and retired. Now Hunter, both of them. Hunter won the Heisman, right? Okay. Whether you thought he should have or not, I thought it should have been Genty, but at least he had, but typically it takes years, right? Before somebody goes and retires somebody.
Not like,
or they die.
Not
right?
4 months.
Yeah, right.
3 months.
So the Hunter thing to me is just, all right, whatever, fine. Probably one of the best quarterbacks, or I'm sorry, one of the best Colorado players, right? But they've already had another one. They had the Rashawn Salam, he won the Heisman. Cordell Stewart, right? They've had some pretty good players there that didn't get the kind of press that these guys are getting. But I mean, come on. Sanders, jersey, retired? Really? So his record there is either 13-12 or 12-13 in games that he started. So he's at 500 or below 500. And I think he was 1-8 in conference, something like that. Right? I mean, it's horrendous. He hasn't led them to anything. Right? No conference championships. I think they went to one bowl, but whatever. It was some bullshit.
I agree. You don't have to preach to me.
And I'm like, talk about nepotism here. What I mean, and Dion's going to sit there and try to defend this, right? Defend this as one of the greats and blah blah blah, all this, and how it was deserved, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me, right? Dude. I mean, it's crazy. Tim Tebow's number's not retired, right?
No,
yeah,
he's one of the greatest college players.
Yeah. The GOAT. I mean, at Georgia, the GOAT is not, his number is not retired. No, Herschel's is, but
Oh, your boy, yeah, he's one of he's top.
Obviously, top 5. He might be one.
He might be one just because of back to back and the way they played.
So, anyways, I wanted to get that off my chest. So, what are you doing, Dion? Come on, man.
What happens he might flame out. You're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have one other thing I could have brought up as a heater moment. So, what is going on with the dude that was on sports? Was it Fox Sports? Sharp?
Oh yeah, she had Sharp. I heard it was some like OnlyFans thing, and
I read today he offered to give her $10 million.
I think she's suing him for 50. I think is what I read. Right. So yeah, he's of course is saying it's all.
Did he not lose his job?
It's going to make me look bad, blah blah blah. But it's not true. It was consensual, or yada yada, this or that. So I don't know. Evidently, this girl has done this before to somebody else. I think another sports personality. I forget who it was. Maybe it was an NBA guy or I don't know what it was, but at least that's what his camp is saying, right? I'm not trying to take his side, but and I haven't seen the video. Obviously, I don't really know all the details about it. But when you preemptively warn, right, the public about that, right? Yeah, he's still on his show, right? Actively employed by ESPN, but he's going ahead, trying to get ahead of this and saying my PR people are, or his PR people trying to get ahead and saying, hey, this is coming out.
Fired. You know what?
I think suspended, just pending, right? An investigation. You can't just fire someone just because somebody said something these days, right? But you don't have to put them on the air either, right?
Fine.
I mean,
okay. All right.
well, it's the truth. It goes both ways, Jay, right? I mean, whether we support guys or we don't support guys, I think we should stand by that fact that let's put it to the side. Let's suspend him and not keep him on the air, and then see what happens.
What a woman. She's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, her stock is rising quickly, right? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know who it is, obviously, but
I don't know.
yeah, he's trying to get ahead of it, so we'll see.
It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Lastly, I know we're running a little late. Not too bad though.
Yep.
What are you watching, or what have you finished watching?
I mean, not a lot. We're still doing Uhtred, right? Son of Uhtred,
Okay.
Vikings, right? The Last Kingdom. That's good, but we just haven't. I was away last week, and we had Easter weekend. We were watching golf, and I don't know. We just haven't really put our heads down and gotten after it. So maybe this weekend we'll catch up on that. I think we're almost done with season 3 on that. But I wanted one. I always see these shows. I told you about yesterday. I mentioned it. And you always watch these, or you see these things pop up on Instagram all the time. Like, hey, top 100 shows of all time, right? It's always the same list, right? Breaking Bad and Chernobyl. That's we watched Chernobyl this past year because of that probably. But this one is not on that list, but all the numbers are really high. Maybe because it was only one season. Taboo. It was a BBC show, and it was Tom Hardy, and it sounds like it's like a early 1800s. Somebody goes to war, comes back, the town's gone haywire or something like that. But I did hear that they're working on a second season, although the show is from like 2017 or 2018. So why was it only on if it's so good? Why was it only on for 1 year? I don't know.
Well, I think sometimes they see.
Maybe Tom Hardy was going to do well. Let's see now. Peaky Blinders was before
maybe
that,
because
so.
all of a sudden people will it's on Netflix. People are watching it like, hey, we can make another one.
Yeah,
get more audience.
So that's what I'm going to check out. I don't know how many episodes it is, but Tom Hardy with the. I don't think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Amazon, I believe.
Yeah,
I got to check it out. I'll let you know. I'm gonna check that out. I'll give you a review next week.
We just finished White Lotus.
Yep.
It was such a painful season.
Really?
It's just slow. Slow. I don't know if you watched any of them.
No.
The first 2 were pretty good.
Yeah.
This one was okay. It was just like so slow. But bizarre. Like the guy, one of the dads, he's like fucks up his he did something illegal with trading or something like that. And then they're over in Thailand in this resort, and he gets a call, and then his life's over because he's going to lose all his money. Blah blah blah. He's like he's like going to kill his whole family with like poison.
Jesus.
And he made the drink in the blender. There was remnants in there, and then his other son he didn't give it to. He was going to be the only one alive, and then he gives it to. Then in the morning, the son, there's remnants of this poison in the blender. He just makes his drinks it, and he fucking collapses and convulsing anyway. And he basically died. But his father caught him. He's like, you could see like all this nonsense he's doing. He was doing, thought he was doing the right thing and keeping the right kid alive, and he wound up fucking killing him. But
what a twist.
Well, there's many twists. Yeah. There's a lot of plot lines, which I like because I like keeping challenges a little bit, but it wasn't good. I said I'm not watching it anymore.
Yeah.
So, and then Daredevil Born Again on Disney Plus. It is not a Disney movie.
No,
it's a TV show. It's based off the character Daredevil. Awesome.
Yeah,
because Netflix used to have that show and they hiatus it. Right. That's it, man. Well, new restaurants. Going to a new one on Sunday. Going to that Italian place.
Oh yeah, I want to try that. Yeah, we tried to get in. Gosh, I think it was in February. It's probably around
when they opened.
Yeah, and couldn't. They were booked. So
yeah,
let me know. I'd like to check that out and see what it's all about.
Yeah. All right,
sounds good.
What do?
We drink,
we snack.
And we repeat.
See you next week.
See you next week. Adios.